Many of the exercises in our program are mat exercises. The first mat exercise is called the cat and camel. This exercise, you start by getting on all fours on the mat. And you basically arch your back and let your head fall down, camel, and then arch your back and let your head come up, cat. This movement should be slow and continual. The next mat exercise is the 90-90. So you start by getting on the mat with a 90-degree angle at both knees. You flex your hips forward so you get a nice arch in your back, and try to be as stable as you can with your butt on the mat. And once you're in this position, then just come forward, stretch to the knee, hold that for 5 seconds, stretch to the shin, hold that for 5 seconds, and stretch to the foot, and hold that for 5 seconds. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Another mat exercise is the hip flexor stretch. In this exercise, you get the mat up against the wall or a couch, and then the mat is there to make your knee comfortable. And then you put your knee on the mat and the back of your leg or foot against the couch. Then, using a golf club to support, move your body back, and you feel the stretch right here in your hip flexor muscles. Another mat exercise is the pelvic tilt. In this exercise, you can do it on all fours or on your back. This time we'll do it on our back. So you lay on your back with your knees bent. You start out with your back flat on the floor, and then you extend your pelvis to create a lumbar curve, and then you flex your pelvis to put a lumbar curve back on the floor. So extend the lumbar curve, hold for 5 seconds, flex the pelvis, back on the floor. Another good mat exercise is thoracic extension on the mat. And we do this exercise on all fours. So you get on the mat on all fours with your hands right underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hips. And then you put your elbows where your hands were. Extend your hands out just a little bit. Let your belly drop. Extend your lower back, let your head fall back, and then just lower your buttocks backwards. And you'll feel a stretch in your lower back and your middle back. Hold this position for about 30 seconds. Another good mat exercise is the interlace fingers. On this exercise, you sit comfortably, and then you take your fingers and you interlace them. Then once you've got them interlaced, then you extend the palms outwards, keeping the arms completely straight. Then raise your palms up so that they're facing the ceiling, and you have a nice straight line between your palms, your shoulders, and your hips. And you hold this position for about 30 seconds. And then change your interlacing to another interlace. Palms out, extend up, hold that for 30 seconds. And that's the end of the interlaced fingers exercise. Another very good mat exercise is the quadruped exercise. In this exercise, you get on all fours on the mat with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And keeping your back flat, you want to lift one hand and the opposite leg. Hold that for 20 seconds. Then you lift the opposite hand and leg. Hold that for 20 seconds. It's very important that you keep your back flat, and sometimes I use a golf club to put on my back just to make sure that it stays flat. Hold for 20 seconds. Hold for 20 seconds. A more advanced version of this is keeping your back flat. Make sure you can lift your legs and your arms higher. Another advanced version is if you widen your stance with your legs. And that's the quadruped mat exercise. Another good mat exercise is the horizontal side support. In this exercise, we start by laying on our side with our elbow under our shoulder, and then we're looking for a nice straight line between our knees, our hips, and our shoulder, and we just lift our hips up so it's an even line. Now, a more advanced version of this is when you straighten your legs, and again, it's completely straight. Again, you hold this exercise for 30 seconds. Another mat exercise is the mat bridge exercise. In this exercise, we start by laying on our back with our knees bent, and then we lift our pelvis up so it's level with our knees and our shoulders. Arms extended, palms up. Hold this position for 1 minute. A more advanced version of this is holding it with one leg extended and the other leg extended. Again, it's very important to keep the pelvis level.